right, what's up, fools? We're out here in what, Sycamore Canyon Trail?
Something.
Yeah.
Shoot off of the Thompson Creek in Claremont.
But we got to the top, we're heading down, and I figured since we still have the nice view in front of us, we'd go ahead and start the interview. Of course, this is the continuation of the series within the series where I'm trying to interview everyone from my DPT cohort, and today we got our fellow study guide creator, magician, person extraordinaire. We got Christy.
Hello. Sorry, trying to navigate steep slopes as we go down the mountain here.
It was funny, when I was ending the interview with Doug, we were crossing a river.
Oh gosh.
And I was trying to talk, but I was like, I don't want to fall in, so I'm just gonna take my time. But anyways, typically the first question for this interview is, how do you know me? But since everyone knows that you're in the cohort with me, do you think you can tell them, do you remember the first time either we met or that we interacted with each other?
I actually don't. I was trying to think about this the other day, and I could not tell you our very first interaction. I remember you being very kind and a gentleman was my first impression, but I don't know exactly what our first interaction, if it was orientation or what.
I honestly feel like this is our first real interaction.
I think so. This might be our first real big conversation we've had.
Yeah. Because like I said in previous interviews, we all got split up into different pods. So Christy's in a different pod than me, so we don't really have normal interaction unless we take the time to do it. And this is the first time that we've, I guess, taken the time to do it now. It's been nice.
Yeah.
So I guess the second question is, since we're all aspiring to be physical therapists in the future, could you tell everyone what your prior experiences are, either working as an aide or kind of in that sports field, and kind of what population of patients you want to work with in the future?
Yeah, so this is actually, PT is my second career. I've had the opportunity to work in college athletics for the last 6 or 7 years, and have gotten the chance actually now to work in all NCAA divisions, all 3 of them. I'm in a little bit of the pro sphere as well, but was a double ACL reconstruction kid in college, and had a physical therapist that just absolutely blew my mind with the amount of impact that she had on my life, and just kind of said, wow, I'd love to get to do that for other athletes one day. And so I thought that meant through sports information, and was a sports information director at the college level for a number of years, and then just decided it was not the lifestyle that I wanted. So I took a leap of faith and became a PT aide for a couple of months before jumping into PT school, with the intent of hopefully going back and working working in college athletics again one day would be the goal.
Nice. I guess real quick, actually I had this question earlier but I didn't ask. Can you explain what sports information is?
Yes, so a sports information director, depending on the level, changes a little bit, but for the most part we handle any type of athletic communication that comes in. So any type of press release, NCAA needs, website, social media, as well as all of your in-game statistics. So we do all of the game scoring, all of that sort of comes through us, and so we're sort of the big hub of any type of statistic, game day, information, and athletic communication.
Nice. And then real quick follow-up question, are you doing any sort of that for APU right now? Because I think I saw a post where you were taking pictures for the baseball team.
Yeah, so I apparently couldn't stay away from college athletics, so about a month into PT school I walked into the SID office at APU, Corey Langerfeld, who's awesome by the way, and just like, hey, I'd love to help. And so got the chance. Unfortunately with COVID we got shut down for quite a while, but I just have sort of been helping him out, specifically with like some baseball and softball stuff, which just had some prior knowledge in, which was great. And so I'm loving it, loving getting to be a part of college athletics and stay in that field and keep up with coaches. And I don't know, I get a lot of joy out of it. And it sort of is a great reminder for me of why I'm grinding every day in PT school.
Yeah.
And I think keeping up with that why has been huge for me in terms of remembering that this is worth it at the end.
Staying motivated.
Yeah.
Nice. So I guess to get into the deeper questions of this interview, is there a cause or issue that you think is important, but you feel like it doesn't get the necessary attention or coverage that you think it deserves?
Yeah, and I think it sort of has a bigger overarching message, and then I'll get into one specific one that's been on my heart. But one is the concept of athletes are significantly more than just a number on a roster. I think at any level, I think it's really easy to look at athletes as someone who can make you money on a bet or your fantasy team, to just a number on a roster that can be discarded. But I think having walked through everything from career-ending injuries to abusive coaches to scholarship issues with a lot of athletes, I think it's important to me, at least, to continue to show them that they are valued beyond what they can do on the field. And so one thing specifically for me that I've worked with quite a few athletes on and continue and trying to figure out how to do it better is their transition once they leave the college athletics world. So much of our identity has been wrapped up in being a student athlete. That's the gear that you wear, that's how people know you, that's where your scholarship comes from, that's where a lot of your affirmation and praise has come from. And so what does that look like when you leave? When that part of your identity is gone, you oftentimes don't know how to work out on your own anymore because you don't have a strength coach working with you. Nutrition has to change because your needs are changing. And just like, what does that look like to transition? And that's been hard for a lot of people. It was really hard on myself. And so that's a small piece of my world that I try to see through each day.
Nice. I guess, is there something else? Either it can be a cause or an issue, but it also doesn't have to be important. It could be like an activity or a group that you've been affiliated with. Is there something like that that you want to shout out or you want more people to know about?
I had two. My fun one that I would encourage people that I really miss and I haven't done since quarantine is actually love line dancing.
Ooh.
Which is such a random thing about me, but I love country music and I love line dancing. So
Lauren.
Hello. So that is something that's sort of just fun that I would definitely encourage people to get out and try.
Nice.
And the second thing, though, is, and kind of a big thing, is just getting out and serving, I think. I think a lot of us are in seasons of waiting in so many different parts of our lives. And so in a season of waiting, it's do what waiters do and serve. And it can be small things where you see someone's need and you just go out and meet it.
Yeah.
Or it could be a big thing I try to do at least once or twice a year, is go out and really serve in a big way, whether it be at a kid's sport camp or APU does the Kenya trip or different ways like that. I think going out and really being intentional about putting other people in front of yourself and serving not to bless others, but to ultimately, or serving not to be blessed, but to bless others. And wait, that got confusing. You'll ultimately be blessed when you choose to bless others.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think having the intentionality of serving other people is something that I'm currently challenging myself to do more of, even when like finances and time are tight.
Yeah.
That bit of sacrifice though really does make a difference in the way you walk through life each day.
Nice. I guess to kind of both go off on that point and kind of going to conclude this interview of having that goal to serve others and help more when we have the opportunity to do so. Is there, what are your goals for the future? They can either be short term, or they can be out as long into the future as you want.
Short term is to survive our first clinical rotation. The fact that people are going to trust us to like actually fully treat their bodies is crazy and exciting and terrifying all at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I think that would be, right now, my short-term goal is to get through the next 10 weeks of rotation. My long-term goal, is to be a part of college athletics and getting to work alongside athletes in a new capacity. And my dream one day is to sort of have whatever training table I'm using, and when graduating seniors get to go off into their next stage of life, they get to sign the treatment table, and to one day have a treatment table that's just full of college graduates that I've had the opportunity to serve and love and be an advocate for.
Nice.
All right, one thing for you now before we go.
Go for it.
This is a question that got posed to me, and I want to hear your answer.
Ooh.
What is one dream, craving, or desire that has been on the forefront of your mind lately?
Dream, craving, forefront, or desire
that has been on the forefront of your mind lately?
I guess one of them, or I guess the main one, has been I guess not that I have. I wouldn't say I'm anywhere near close to having financial problems, but I see out and around, especially kind of, I think it goes back to the point that Dr. Mr. and Mrs. Barton were talking about, and kind of having that extra income source to either help pay for loans or just being able to live life a little better. I think financial freedom has been on my mind, and not, like I said before, not that I've ever had to worry about money per se. Like, both my parents, they have really good jobs, and that's not anything that I've had to worry about before. But I feel like it's still on my mind because it's something that a lot of people have to deal with, and especially, I guess, PT is a good paying field, but it's not like working at Google or something like that where you just got like unlimited money to spend. So I've been trying to, at least every day, be a little more financially literate, try to read up on the stock market to prepare for when I do have more money. Maybe that could be like another source of income, and of course doing YouTube. I mean, definitely this isn't at all profitable at all. This is honestly more like a hobby, but if that could be something else, then that would be cool. And I think, just kind of going off on another tangent, one of the topics that does get brought up within PT a lot is burnout. And I do know like a lot of PTs that feel that way. They work with a lot of patients a day, and they just get burnt out super fast. So I think ideally for me, like, I do love working with patients, and I think at least for me it's a little more kind of like how Dr. Mr. Barn was talking about. Like, he enjoys more so talking with the patients, getting to know their lives and who they are as a person.
Right.
And that's something that I kind of, not that I got in trouble working as an aide for, but I feel like I'd always want to like get to know who I'm working with, like what their family like, especially being working at a clinic from my hometown. Always like talking to the kids, figuring out if they went to the same schools that I did. Same thing with the parents. Sometimes I see teachers that I had before in the past. So I'd love to be able to work and treat, but not have to worry about the financial aspect. And if I'm able to do that, basically till the day I die, then I'm happy, you know.
Super cool.
Thanks. And with that, we'll go ahead and end it. I think I enjoyed that. I might ask people to just ask me a random question at the end, just so it's more of a, I guess, a mutually beneficial conversation. It's not just you talking. So I'm happy that you added that to this little series that I have. And with that, thanks again to Christy.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for agreeing to answer my questions. And like I say, the series will only go as long as people continue to hike with me and let me bug them with questions. So I do definitely appreciate it. And with that, we'll go ahead and see y'all on the next one.
Bye, guys.
All right.